Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Jones may have just revealed the Dallas Cowboys' next head coach, and I promise you, it's someone that literally everyone in Cowboys Nation is not going to be happy with, and it is Jason Witten, former Cowboys great tight end who also never won anything in Dallas, but it was a great tight end nonetheless, one of the best tight ends in Dallas Cowboys history. Jason Witten's name has started to catch a little heat as it pertains to his NFL head coaching future, and lo and behold, the heat is coming from the wood fire stove that is old ass Jerry Jones. Let's get right into it, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content on the radio. You see, here on Attack on Cowboys, I want to make sure you guys leave my content knowing a little bit more than you did when you originally clicked in, and I want you to know that the information that you're getting is legitimate, factual, solid information. I'm not just going to get up here and tell you how terrible of an idea this would be because Jason Witten sucks. He has no head coaching experience in the NFL, and he's only been a high school football coach and blah, 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 blah. I'm actually going to give you Jason Witten's background. I'm going to show you what he's accomplished as a head coach on the high school level. Then I'm going to say we probably all been looking at the wrong father-son duo. We've been looking at Dion and Shadur as somebody that could come to Dallas. I'm willing to bet there's a higher percentage chance we end up with Jason Witten and Cooper Witten, or Jason Witten and CJ Witten. That's just me. But let's get into this report. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, when asked on 105.3 The Fan if he thinks former Cowboys tight end Jason Witten one day could be an NFL coach, Jerry Jones said yes, without hesitation. Yes, he has something that you can't draw up. He reminds me a lot of our other tight end who is a head coach up there in Detroit right now, in Dan Campbell. Jason is very sophisticated when it comes to understanding football and all the nuances. But more important than anything, he really does understand the physical and the mentality of being physical and that part of it. Without a question, he could become an NFL coach. He has extraordinary work ethic and he can be a top coach. I'm going to tell you right now, just based off of looking at this quote for face value, Jerry Jones has 100% had a couple of wet dreams about Jason Witten being the Dallas Cowboys head coach. I can tell you 100% without a doubt. For one, look at this face. Let's be real. Jason Witten would be considered a handsome white guy. Why wouldn't Jerry Jones want this handsome He-Man looking figure to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? And you would essentially have a doppelganger of that, what Dan Campbell is with the Detroit Lions as far as just their presence, right? Just their presence and kind of how they carry themselves. I think Jason is a little bit more buttoned up than a Dan Campbell. I think he would kind of fit more in line with the company line of the Dallas Cowboys as far as the demeanor that guys like to carry. But be for real, y'all know damn well somebody that looks like this is Jerry Jones's wet dream for being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And he was a Cowboy player. Oh, Jerry wants this to happen so bad. He's honestly probably just looking for an excuse to make it happen sooner than what it should happen. Now, I'm not saying Jason Witten shouldn't be a head coach in the NFL, because if you actually look at what Jason Witten has accomplished since he's been the head coach at Liberty Christian Football, he started coaching there in 2021 and 2022 season. That first season, they went 2-8. It was terrible. They had a district record of 1-6, and they were absolutely horrendous. Then in 2022 and 2023, they completely flipped their season. They went from 2-8 to 10-2 somehow. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, for something like this to happen, Jason Witten has something to him. He has something to him, whether the old coach ahead of him, Stephen Greek, whether Stephen Greek was just that bad, but Jason Witten has something to him to completely flip a program like that. Now, there could be other stuff going on. There could be a function of people knowing that former Dallas Cowboy players, the head coach at Liberty Christian now, and all the best players in the district or in the surrounding areas started to go over there and play with Jason. It could be a function of that. His own bloodline is out there putting in work for him too. And then in 2023 and 2024, which was last year, them boys was undefeated. So in 2 seasons, he took a team that was essentially like the replacements, 2-8. In 2 seasons, he took a team that was 2-8 and brought them to 14-0 in 2023 and 2024. That is incredibly impressive. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much y'all don't want to play into the idea of Jason Witten becoming a head coach in the NFL or with the Dallas Cowboys specifically. And I think most of us are just off on that because we don't have anything to sink our teeth into. We don't have any tangible evidence that Jason Witten would be a good coach on a higher level than high school football, okay? But this season, his guys are 9-1. So they're not perfect like they were last year, but they're still damn good. And Jason Witten has effectively turned this program around and made it into a powerhouse in Texas. So Liberty Christian football has been better off for Jason Witten. So we're not going to sit here and completely slander Jason Witten's name and act like that it's just so ridiculous that his name would even be brought up as an option to be an NFL head coach. He is one of the most high-profile players that played for one of the most high-profile teams, and now he's coaching football in one of the most high-profile football states in the entire country. And he was named the Whataburger Coach of the Year. Okay, so Liberty Christian head football coach Jason Witten has been named the Whataburger Coach of the Year by the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so a little bit of home cooking there. A little bit of bias may have been in play, right? Coach Witten was one of 10 finalists for the awards, and announcing Coach Witten as the winner, the Cowboys also said that the Liberty football program will receive a grant from the Gene and Jerry Jones Foundation and Whataburger. So just based off of that, bro. Just based off of that, what's going on right now is Jerry got Jason Witten in a coaching training program. He got him in coaching boot camp. He's like, all right, Jason, go ahead and go get some experience. Go ahead and go kick the ball down the road a little bit. And then after a few years, you get some experience under your belt. We can justify bringing you in and giving you a position on the staff as an NFL coach. And it may not be a head coach initially. They may bring in Jason Witten as like a tight ends coach or something like that initially. And then after a year or two, move him up almost instantaneously to a head coaching position. But Jerry, this is some home cooking going on. I mean, they award the man grants, and essentially they're powering his Liberty Christian football program in a roundabout way. That's essentially what's going on there, right? But overall, Jason Witten has been good. He's been good. His sons have been actually pretty damn good at Liberty Christian, and just overall, just on its face, Jason Witten has proven what he's done so far. I'm not going to discredit this man is doing, bro. I'm not going to discredit it because I'm an angry Cowboys fan and I hate anything to come out of Jerry Jones's mouth. I'm not going to discredit what he's doing, but what I am going to say is Jerry Jones has gotten to a point to where he is making decisions based on his heart, and he's making decisions based off of ego and pride and wanting things to work in the way that looks the best to him, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. I think Jerry wants to win, but he only wants to win under the circumstances that it looks the way he envisioned it looking, right? So I think that's what we're starting to see here. And like I said, we're looking at the wrong pair of father and son. We're looking at Dion and Shadur. I think we should be more so looking at a Jason and Cooper Witten coming to the Cowboys as a package deal at some point. I think Cooper's getting recruited by Oklahoma. So it's not like he's not going to be like a primo prospect. He's going to be a nice prospect playing at a blue chip program. Then you have Jason Witten getting more and more experience on that high school level, kind of baking it a little bit in that oven, slow cooking a little bit for a couple of more seasons. Let Dak Prescott get out of here, and then Jason Witten's probably going to come in as the head coach at some point. I'm willing to bet y'all after the Dak Prescott era is over, because I think it will be very hard to have a player that your guys have played with be the head coach, right? I think that's the main thing that's keeping this from happening sooner than what it could happen, because if this Cowboys team was just completely full of new life, new youth, new talent, new players, and none of these guys had ever been on the field and suited up with Jason Witten, because Dak and I think CD Lamb did for a very short period of time. I know DeMarcus Lawrence has. And there's a couple of guys, Zach Martin, Zeke Elliott. There's guys on this team that have played with Jason Witten, and I don't think that that's happened yet as far as having a head coach that has actually played with some of the current players that are on the team. So I think that once we see the Dak Prescott era over with in Dallas, you're more than likely going to see this type of move being made. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. The next coach that we hire this upcoming offseason, he's going to have effectively 3 to 4 years to make something happen. And then we're going to see this happen. 100%. 100%. There's nothing you can tell me that's going to make me believe that we're not going to see this happen, especially since Jason has actually proven so far he's a good football coach. He's a good football coach. I'm sorry, you turn the program around like that, you don't turn the program around, you don't win games off of star power. He's a good football coach. Now, is he a good higher level football coach? Is he a good college football coach? Is he a good NFL coach? Here's the thing. He's starting on the high school level. So we're talking about people modernizing the Cowboys. We're talking about people being able to relate to this newer generation of players where these guys are, let's call it what it is. These guys are soft. These guys are soft and they lack social awareness and they don't want to take accountability for anything, right? So we see this new generation of player. Jason Witten is coaching these guys in high school. Y'all don't think that if anybody understands how to relate to the younger generation of players, y'all don't think it's not going to be Jason Witten? In 3 to 4 seasons, by the time he's been a head coach on a high school level for 6-7 years, who knows, he's probably going to end up moving up in between now and then. But in 6 or 7 years, Jason Witten is going to have a PhD in dealing with Gen Z athletes. He is 100% going to have a PhD in it. So if anything, honestly, in 3 to 4 seasons, if he get any other type of experience, if this man end up going to Oklahoma or something like that to be a position coach and follow his son or whatever it may be, if he ends up doing something like that, bro, Jason Witten is 100% going to be a Dallas Cowboys head coach. And like I said, mark my words, mark the calendar, mark the day. It is November 16, 2024. I'm telling you today, once Dak Prescott and the rest of the Cowboys that actually played with Jason Witten are gone, Jason Witten will be in play in a very, very serious way. And that's all I'm going to say. That's my thoughts on this. I don't think this is super outrageous from Jerry to say this because, I mean, like I said, the man has proven it. For one, he can be a great NFL player. Jason Witten, to me, kind of carries himself like a guy who's very heady and knows the game, and he's like kind of a film rat. And he has started coaching. He started to build up his resume. You have to start somewhere, y'all. He started to build that resume up, and he's starting from the bottom. He's starting from the trenches, and he's starting in a place where he's going to have a unique perspective and connection with this younger generation of guys coming up. So who knows? All I'm saying is I 100% think this is going to happen. And we still them same old Cowboys, and am I upset about it? Not really, because in 3 or 4 seasons, I think Jason Witten probably will end up being one of the better options to bring in as a head coach. Like I said, let Dak finish out this last 3 or 4 seasons on this contract with whatever new head coach you bring in. If nothing shakes between now and then as far as winning a championship or something, Dak's going to walk off into the sunset or go play for another franchise. That head coach is going to get his walking papers, and you're probably going to see Jason Witten come to the Cowboys. That's just my opinion.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.